Hello, Aquarius. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, Spirit and Universe, what are the messages for Aquarius regarding their love life? What are the messages and advice that you can give to Aquarius regarding their love life? Oh my goodness. Okay. Definitely this one. Aquarius, somebody is taking a time out. Oh, Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. First of all, the Knight of Wands is in your recent past. And this is a card of just charging in and having swift communications. I think that it's kind of like somebody that's just on a rampage with their emotions, I think. And I'm saying that because this is a fiery energy, and they are very much like that in the sense that when they get emotional, they can have a sense of, they have a tendency to just, you know, especially if they're Aries, their ruling planet is Mars, which is the god of, which is the war planet. And so they really, if there's some discord, they really kind of come to life in that. And it's not that they're wanting to fight, and it's not that they're wanting to argue or yell or react. It's just that they kind of really come to life in that type of energy, and things are said that aren't always meant. And they're not afraid to. They're not afraid, because sometimes they want to just get it all out on the table, no matter how messy it is, and just throw it all out, and then just kind of wait and see and watch it put itself back together, and get it all out, and then kind of figure it out in the wash. Now, that is not a good energy with you so much, because that really stresses you out, and you actually really retreat when that happens, and because you don't thrive off of that type of energy at all. And so when that happens, I think, and it did really in your recent past, you will leave and be in solitude and alone with your thoughts, which is exactly what's happening right here. I don't think that you're with a water sign or anything, and I don't think that they're leaving. I think that you are in solitude, you're alone with your thoughts, you're figuring this out like you do best. You do that very well, but you don't communicate when you're doing that, and it makes it worse. And so, but at this point, you're probably, it's looking like really you just don't even want to deal with it. And you're not. And you're just gonna walk away from the situation. Now, what's grounding you is Temperance. And what's really funny is this card is it's a card of, it's not funny actually, but I mean, it's a card of management. And so you're really going to be actually, you're good at that. They are not. You're very good at managing your emotions and managing your reactions to things. So you'll just go away, be with your thoughts, and figure out what you want your next move to be. And that's exactly what you're doing here. It's a card of moderation. So they may be trying to come to you and say, we need to talk, come on, let's figure this out, blah, 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 blah. And you can't deal with that right now. You don't want to mess with that. It's like, be alone with your thoughts, figure yourself out, and then maybe we can talk in the future. And by future, I mean a couple months. Okay, so you're staying in your power and managing what you're putting out there with regards to this relationship, and you're managing how you're reacting to whatever they're doing. Okay, and it kind of makes them look a little foolish too. They get very hurt. They deeply get hurt. They deeply get hurt. But they also, one day they'll just wake up and just be fine and just move on and not think twice about it. And they'll just say, well, that was a relationship that didn't work. And they're not going to, no hard feelings moving forward. But it takes some time. But in the moment, they're actually genuinely very hurt. And you're just slowly taking your time. And what I like about you, Aquarius, especially with this reading, is because in your crowning position, you have the Magician, which is someone that is perfectly capable of manifesting. And I think this was in your reading last month too. But you're perfectly capable of manifesting whatever you want to happen. So you have the power. Not so much with the relationship. I mean, you kind of do, but you more have the power of taking what is in front of you and making whatever you want. And not only do you have the power, and I think I said this exactly the same way last month, but not only do you have the power, but you know you have the power, and you know exactly what to do with it. Okay? In your near future, you have Justice. And so I think whatever this situation is, there's going to be justice, and justice, I think, is probably you just leaving and going and doing your thing and finding somebody new. And the reason why I say that is because there's heartbreak here and because there's the World here. You are sad, and this is not probably going to move forward, but there's either someone else in your periphery that you're kind of excited about, or you're just saying, this is over, and I have the world at my fingertips. Yes, I do. I know I do. And I'm not worried about it. You're really not worrying. You're just taking a time out and moving away from the situation. So this is also a card of like executive type of strength. So people are high up in their career. So you could be very connected and, moving forward with building those types of relationships as opposed to worrying about somebody that is getting all worked up over something that's probably very significant in their life and significant in yours, but you can definitely choose how you react, and you are choosing more wisely than they are, is what it looks like. How you're viewing the situation is the World card, and you are viewing this as the world at your fingertips. You're viewing this as I'm in control, and I'm excited and hopeful for the future. It's definitely a card of success and taking the right route. And so I think that you are leaving the relationship, and you're not going back, and you know deep down in your heart and your soul that that's the right decision. Gosh, Aquarius, well, I'm sorry. I feel like this is kind of a bad reading, but at the same time, you know that it's not, because you know this and you know this. I just don't... I'm just a champion of love, and I don't like when it doesn't work out, but you know what, when you do leave something behind that's not for you, you do open up the door, and you leave the energy open for something that is for you, and that's even more beautiful. Now, how they're feeling about the situation is they are retreating into their emotions now, and they're viewing you as doing this, which you are doing, but now that we're moving through the month, they're like, in here too, they're emotional, very emotional. They're taking it to heart, and they're very sad. They may be having nightmares and dreams about it. Usually with the reading, this kind of speaks to moving through the emotions and through the gates and onto a brighter future. But I think that they are, excuse me, excuse me, they are really taking this to heart, and they're viewing you as doing this, and that's hurting them, and then they're also doing this, which is continuing to hurt them. And I think, really, don't worry about this. You have to be in control of your own self, and you have to figure this stuff out on your own, and you're on your path, and not to worry what they're doing. That's all I can really say about that, is that you're on your path and not to worry. Now, in your hopes and fears, we have the Three of Wands, and this is a card of establishment. This is a hope. And really, this is actually can be their hope too, a little bit, or you can be hopeful that they can actually end up being successful with whatever they're trying to do. You kind of want them to, this is kind of a specific reading. I hope it applies to a lot of you. But you're wanting them to really go establish themselves and stop worrying about all this nicky-picky stuff. Because this is a card of established strength and discovery and commerce and building connections. So yes, he's up on a hill overlooking, but he's overlooking what he's built, and he's overlooking possibilities and the future. Okay, so you're doing this, but I think this is more of a hope that you're hoping that they do this so they don't worry so much about you. You want them to go off and be successful, and you want them to live their own path and be completely content in doing so. And I think that this is your hope for them. You're not hoping about the situation. You're hoping that they go and are successful and build their own life. And then in the outcome, we have the Three of Swords. I mean, it speaks for itself. There has been some heartbreak, and there's been some hurt feelings. And in your usual Aquarius way, you are going into your head and figuring it out, and you're going to come back on top. Not in like a winning, I'm winning, I win, I'm not sad. But you're staying true to who you are, and you're staying true to your powers, and you're not wasting time worrying about the stuff that cannot be changed, really. You don't want this immature back and forth. You really want somebody that is 100% set in their self, set in their ways, and confident. And this was not for you. I think this you may have been temporarily happy, but this really was not for you, and here's the outcome, and you're fine with that. All right, let's see what the oracle cards say. Yeah, this was pretty specific. So if this does not apply to you, Aquarius, please watch your rising and moon sign, and maybe even your Venus sign, because this is a pretty specific reading. All right, Spirit, what is the guidance that you can offer and advice that you can offer Aquarius for May regarding their love life? Sylvanus, and she's holding a sword. Let's see what this says. She's holding a sword. Truth cutting through deception, clarity. At this time, you are discovering new truths about yourself. They are essential for you to know in order to create relationships based on mutual respect, affection, and trust. These things can only work if we see ourselves and others as we are. Currently, both fairy and this world are functioning as a giant mirror in which we see ourselves in many surprising ways. People tend to dread this because we assume that we are worse than we think we are, but this is far from necessarily true. Now is a time of finding out the false and misleading beliefs that you have accepted and discovering that you are a better person than you had thought. And you have the potential to accomplish more than you believed you ever could. If someone, and I'm saying that's important because look at this. If someone says you're better or simply different than you think you are, don't automatically reject this. Think it over carefully. You have more to give and more to enjoy than you have been giving yourself credit for. So you definitely have the power to build the life that you want, and you are seeing that. So, yeah. Move forward. Don't look back. And you are happy. I am not even going to say and be happy, because you already are. You're confident in your decision. And that's good, because we waste a lot of time sometimes being wishy-washy. So you're just taking this time and figuring your exit strategy, really, is what I think. And maybe you've already done it, but I think that's what you're doing. You're managing your emotions well. So thank you so much, Aquarius.